Hello and welcome to this quick tip tutorial. We're going to be running through sidechain compression basics. Okay, now sidechain, for those of you who are relatively new, allows you to use an additional sound, so another audio source or another audio track or MIDI track, to trigger off the compression settings inside your compressor. So let's run this through. So we're going to need two elements. The first one is our trigger. The second thing we're going to need is we are going to need something to compress. Now I've already preset up a kick drum here, so let's zoom in so you can see what's going on here. Okay, this will act as our trigger source point. Okay, let's right click here, type in trigger, like so. Now here, this is going to be the sound that is compressed. Cool. All right, so we're going to need to get our compressor. Choose two. Okay, so these are the default Ableton compressors, but you can use, we could use like Pro Comp, for example. Cool, just to kind of show that these all work like this. So with our compressor or our stock Ableton compressor, we need to open up this little arrow key just here to pop it up. Or we need to engage the sidechain trigger. So this allows this sound here, or this trigger point, to move into our second signal. Okay, right, we need to select the input. Okay, in this instance, I've already renamed it trigger. Cool. Now, if you're using a drum rack, you might want to select the sound specifically. Say if you've got a kick drum, hi-hat, snare, all in the same pattern. Okay, then this will just take the output of the whole drum kit as opposed to one individual element. I'll show you that in a second. Right, we've got an EQ setting here, which I typically would leave off. If you need to, you could use it to filter out stuff, but for beginners, just leave it off. That's the easiest thing to do. And what this is going to do is now when we play the track, okay, it's firing off a sidechain. Cool, firing off a sidechain for us to be able to trigger. Cool, it looks like this. You can see our trigger point. Okay, now, second part about this is we need to bring down our threshold. Okay, so if it's sitting above this, it's not actually going to trigger anything. Like so. Let's just get some... let's go white noise, and this will do. Cool, just so you can kind of hear it. So turn the trigger off. All right. Now you notice when you do that, you can't hear any sidechain happening, and that's because this threshold is not coming down enough. So let's pull this down until you can hear it. Beautiful, so you can hear that trigger point. Now, depending on the release time, I'll do this in a further video about compression, but this will show you the correct routing here. Now, if we turn this one off, there's a routing option here in Glue. Exactly the same concept, trigger. All right, not as visually easy to see. You can hear that, a little bit snappier on that style of compressor. This is our FabFilter Comp compressor. It also has a keychain input, trigger. And here you actually need to engage the sidechain. Cool, so slightly a little bit more complicated. External. Cool. Internal, it doesn't have an internal routing, so we need to select external. All right, there you go. Nice simple way to apply your sidechain correctly. We need a trigger source of some description, then we need something to compress, we need to route things in, okay, and then bring the threshold down. All right, catch you in the next video.